Welcome back, everyone. This is war number 3 of season 46, and happily enough, I am on path 2. Back when I was in a Plat 1 slash Plat 2 alliance, this is a path I would run endlessly. And so, coming back to it, I know sort of like the ins and outs, as well as what to look out for. And so here we have on node number 2, a Spider Gwen. As usual, my goal is to keep her under a bar of power. That way, I don't have to deal with that unblockable special as well as the roots. And so, with Spider Gwen's evade, she can't evade out of a stun, unlike Scorpion. And so Vision is a safe counter. I just have to launch my special during the stun. And you see, during this commentary, she is literally almost dead. Like, you're gonna take some chip damage, but Vision is a very safe option with the path I have ahead. And, as a special twist, we have a Killmonger here for the second fight, but I won't be using Age of Ultron Vision, I'll be using Vision Arcus. Since the Killmonger is unawakened, he won't have the reverberation damage, but it honestly won't matter. Vision Arcus is gonna cook this man, and even though I'm out leveled in this matchup, all that means is I'm gonna take that extra chip damage, and it's just gonna take a little bit longer. But I'm okay with that as long as it's the safest option for the fight, and honestly, with the synergy team I have, it's the best matchup possible to accompany Age of Ultron Vision. And so, with Vision Argus, what ideally you want to do, you want to stack up those armor breaks. Then after you stack them up, ideally with the SP3, you launch your SP2, like here. Now, a lot of people do not play Vision Arcus, mostly because, well, there are better options, as well as Vision Arcus is not the fastest champ, because you have to go SP3 ideally, then SP2, then an SP3 again like I'm doing now, to get that massive damage. And that rotation, while you do have the power gain to back you up, is incredibly long, but once you're there, you can see right now, the damage is busting. It is something. It is something to consider as well as to respect, but how long it takes, that's why people don't play him. But we come out of that fight unscathed, and we're on to section 2 of path 2. Really, this is the diversity placement, but during my testing, I wasn't sure if Vision specials as well as his power burn will be glanced, and so with that, I want to err on the side of caution and just keep her under a bar of power. I could push her to an SP2, but I wasn't sure if my SP2 glance, the power burn would glance as well. In this matchup, that doesn't seem to happen, but like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry, and so the goal is keep her over around like 1 bar to 1.5 bars, just so I'm able to go into the next matchup with the most health possible. Mostly because it's an unideal fight, but it's a fight that Vision can surprisingly take. I had some back and forth with my officers with this fight, mostly because I wasn't sure Vision could take this fight. So here's what I did. I switched around my masteries, and so I'm running Max Fury and Max Assassins. And so the Fury matters with the synergy with Vision Arcus, because the Fury potency really scales with the amount of power burned. This fight is honestly all about balanced. While yes, I want to keep track of the Fury that I gain, I also have to make sure I don't place as many debuffs on Zemo as much as possible. And when Vision is able to drain the power completely off of any defender, it doesn't matter if it's Zemo, whatever, I apply a heal block debuff, but that debuff is going to be purified as well as cleansed. on Zemo when that happens, like I do now. And so I want to make sure that he's literally dead before that happens, because I do not want to be around when that root at least activates. But here we're finishing off the fight. We make a little bit of a mistake, but it's nothing a few potions can't handle going into the next fight. And the next fight is going to be such a surprise as well. I wasn't expecting it to go so well. I do make a single mistake, but after that, I go completely berserk, no pun intended, with this Sassy. And so I'm going into the fight. I make a mistake and I don't check over activating the correct boost, which ideally for this fight, you want to activate an invulnerability boost and not Power Start 1. Because Power Start 1, yeah, it's mainly for speed, but at least to be safe, you want to activate again the invulnerability boost, because you don't know what the AI is going to do, at least when it concerns the behavior during Wrath when it comes to Sassy, versus that of when he's not in Wrath. Because when he's not in Wrath, he's more passive, as well as he's more, I guess you can say, inclined to hold block and then wait for that, versus when in Wrath, he's just super aggressive, which I guess makes sense. It is called Wrath for a reason. And so here, we're just trying to control the power and allow Sassy to spam as many specials as possible. That way, I can get my in. And not only is Sassy more, I guess you can say, inclined to spam specials, but he's also more inclined to give me those heavies when in Wrath. And so here, I am running those same Fury Masteries, so the goal is drain as much power as possible, and then from there, gain the max Fury output like I am now. And then when I have that max Fury output, the last percentage of Sassy will be a literal walk in the park, because it allows Vision to hit like an absolute truck. So like 13k, 9k mediums and lights from Vision is a godsend. Like that, you're never gonna get that in a PG matchup, mostly because you're not allowed to bring synergies, but I literally play free here. And with that freedom that I play with, Sassy is going to be rinsed. I literally just had that one mistake in the beginning, but it was super fun to see the result of this fight, and just note that I have one fight left of this war, and it's all about finishing strong. Now, here on Node 48, we have a Quicksilver here, and the only thing I have to watch out for mainly is Conflictor. You'll just see me testing out to see if I have the pre-fight plays, just to make sure, because I don't want to go in the fight and I don't have the wax pre-fight. And so, yes, I want to make sure my parry stuns are passive, but I also want to balance Quicksilver's evade for one, and then secondly, if I'm able to power burn Quicksilver's entire power bar, I also inflict a active debuff that heal blocks Quicksilver. But if that happens, he's going to gain a lot more power. And later on in this fight, Quicksilver ends up dodging my SP1, which is kind of dire, which happens like right now, and I'm just like, okay, I need to get this power under control. Debuff, please don't activate. Power gain, please be in my favor, and it was in my favor. Thank goodness Quicksilver evaded them, because if I got hit by the SP1, I would have been fine because I have an invulnerability boost, but if I got hit by the SP2, it would not have been fine. It would not. But we managed to get out of that fight with a little bit of chip damage, but we profited nonetheless. Currently, the war is still going on, but it's pretty much a wash. We're winning by so many kills, and we have shown steadily improvement from the battle group as well as the alliance with this new tactic. Yes, it is difficult, but being able to navigate through those difficulties is what separates top 3 from top 10, and at the end of the day, that is our goal.